Lee Kuan Yew once visited my country, Ghana. While in Ghana, he met a brilliant professor studying Latin and Greek, and he asked, why not science? Why not agriculture? What has Latin got to do with building a nation? The question hit me hard, and as an African who admires Singapore, I had to know what else did Lee Kuan Yew think about Africa. Singapore is impressive. When you visit this country, you realize there is no chaos. Singaporeans don't make excuses. They deliver results. Growing up in Africa, I always asked myself, why can't African cities be like this? As I walk these clean, safe streets, ride the MRT, and see how things just work, I wonder what the man who made all this possible really thought about my continent. Lee Kuan Yew came to Africa in the 1960s. What he saw shaped his views on development, leadership, and culture. And honestly, some of his opinions might surprise you. Somewhere in the 1960s, Lee Kuan Yew took a trip to Ghana and Nigeria. These countries were among the first African nations to gain independence, just like Singapore was beginning to stand on its own. He saw the celebrations, the potentials, and the problems, and this is what he had to say. He said this about the continent: I was not optimistic about Africa. In less than 10 years after independence, Nigeria had had a coup, and Ghana a failed coup. He felt that tribal loyalties were stronger than national identity, and that without strong leadership and unity, the African progress wouldn't last. Let's be honest, Lee didn't blame the African people. He blamed the leaders of the continent. He once met a Nigerian finance minister who told him, I've done enough for my country. Now it's time to build my shoe business. Can you imagine that? He was shocked at how quickly African leaders shifted from public service to personal gain. Lee believed leadership should mean sacrifice, not self-enrichment. Lee Kuan Yew built Singapore on the idea that order and discipline come before democracy. He made rules that worked, from banning gum to creating one of the world's cleanest cities. Everything here works. Clean trains, no corruption, no disorder. That didn't happen by luck. Lee Kuan Yew demanded it. Back in Ghana, that moment with a Latin professor stuck with him. Why train your best minds in Latin and Greek when you need engineers and farmers? In Ghana, we trained scholars who could recite Homer, but not enough people who could build roads, grow food, or run clean water systems. That wasn't a criticism. To me, it sounds more like a reality check. Lee Kuan Yew believed many African countries were political borders, not true nations. Their societies, formerly held together by colonial powers, would splinter, with appalling consequences under poor governance. Sadly, he was right. He saw how tribalism could tear a country apart. But in Singapore, he built a new identity. Not Chinese, not Malay, not Indian, just Singaporean. Lee didn't say that Africa couldn't succeed. He believed that any country could if it had the right values. And what are these values? Meritocracy, discipline, and vision. It is not the form of government that matters. It is the quality of men who govern. But he warned, don't copy blindly. Don't expect change without sacrifice. As much as I love Singapore, I have to be honest. Most Africans wouldn't survive here. Not because we are lazy, but because this system is intense. You see, Singaporeans work hard. It is not for the faint-hearted. And that is why many Africans admire Singapore from afar, then run home once reality hits. I don't think Lee Kuan Yew hated Africa. I think he told us the truth. He believed we could succeed, but not by copying Western democracies or chasing foreign aid. He showed the world that good leadership beats resources, and that honesty, even if it's hard to hear, is sometimes exactly what we need. So what do you think? Was Lee Kuan Yew being too harsh? Or was he right? Do you believe Africa can learn from Singapore's model? I truly hope that more Africans and people from underdeveloped parts of the world get the opportunity to visit Singapore, to walk these clean streets, use the MRT, see the efficiency, and feel the energy of what's possible when a nation is run right. Because when you experience this for yourself, you realize we don't have to keep settling for broken systems and bad leadership. I think that Singapore's story should inspire all of us to raise our standards and start demanding better from the people who lead us. Let's talk in the comments. And if you found this eye-opening, please like, share, and subscribe. This is Explore with Kojo, where travel meets truth. Thanks for watching. Before I go, I want to leave you with something special, some beautiful footage from my recent trip to Singapore. I hope it inspires you to one day visit this incredible country and explore it for yourself. There is so much to learn just by being here, how things work, how people live, and what's possible when a nation puts progress first.